Hey everyone, welcome back to LT Gaming. My name is Tom and today we're diving into Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, which is finally coming out of early access on June 20th. This game has been well received during its early access phase, earning rave reviews from players for its deep and engaging gameplay. But now that it's hitting full release, how does it hold up? It's been an absolute stellar year for the publisher Hooded Horse and the city building genre as a whole. But will this momentum continue with Workers and Resources? I thankfully have been given early access by Hooded Horse to the full release, and in this video I'll be giving you the lowdown on this, how it plays, how it looks, the pros, the cons, and how it stacks up to other games in the genre. So let's jump into it. Of course, before we begin, let me know your thoughts on this game if you've played it, hit the like button and help us out with the algorithm, and of course subscribe if you want more gaming content. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's kick things off with an overview of Workers and Resources. In a nutshell, this game is a city building and resource management sim set in a Soviet-themed republic. Your job? Take an impoverished country and transform it into a rich industrial superpower. You'll build intricate production chains and manage a fully simulated global economy, from education and employment of your citizens to party loyalty and even criminal activity. You're going to have your hands full managing every aspect of their lives. Now, we talk about the development history. The devs behind this game, Free Division, are super active and communicative. They're constantly posting updates and they make you feel like this is a real passion project for them. During its time in early access, we've seen a steady stream of these updates and new features, and each one has brought the game closer to the vision laid out in the roadmap, and it's great that on June 20th they're going to be delivering on those promises. The game blends many aspects of other city builders and management sims like Tropico, Transport Fever, a bit of OpenTTD in there, City Skylines. But let me tell you, it is unique in its own right, and it's probably one of the most realistic games of its kind that I know of. And with that, one of the most challenging, if you want it to be. The difficulty just isn't in planning your cities and transport and production lines, it's also in the micromanagement, which can be quite intricate. Do not skip the tutorial on this one. Seriously, my first game I spent an hour just trying to get my bus system running to supply my coal mine, and so that it really is a game that rewards patience and attention to detail, so don't skimp on the learning side of it. Alright, let's go into the core gameplay mechanics of Workers and Resources and see what is making this one a little bit different. City and economy management is first up. It is a Soviet-themed city builder, so you're going to obviously control everything from mining resources and manufacturing goods to providing services like healthcare and education. These decisions are going to shape your citizens' lives and loyalties, and you're going to make sure that you grow from an impoverished nation to an industrial powerhouse. Complex simulations are part of this game, and the game is packed with them. You tweak everything from the price of goods to electricity and water supply. It caters to the urban planners, economists, and simulation enthusiasts here. Winter months, for example, will require more heating, and global markets are going to influence your strategies. There is a dual currency system present where you use both rubles and dollars, and balancing trade between Eastern and Western markets. So an aspect of diplomacy basically. Being a non-aligned nation allows you to leverage the best deals in technology from both sides of the Iron Curtain, and it adds a strategic layer to your decision making on this front. Then we also have detailed supply chain management. Managing supply chains is key. You handle over 30 different commodities, and figuring out how to transport and store raw materials and goods is kind of integral to the game really. Using trucks, trains, conveyor belts to ensure everything runs smoothly, it's all about efficient logistics. Then we have construction, of course, a staple of any builder, building roads, factories, other structures, and managing resources and these projects in turn. Choose between importing materials for quick builds or producing them locally for sustainability. And then your well-being is going to be the heart of your republic. How are your people faring? They work in your factories and farms, and keeping them happy and loyal is crucial. Manage their needs and services to carefully ensure their satisfaction. And then another aspect is the transportation. Networks of roads, railways, air and sea routes to move not only goods but also your people, and keeping this running smoothly is, as I've alluded to in the intro, very integral here. So ensure your city stays connected and your economy thrives with an efficient transport network. Now, with a base understanding of the game, we can move on to the presentation aspects here. From a visual standpoint, the graphics in the game are functional. They're not going to blow you away, but they get the job done. The design of the buildings and landscapes fits the Soviet theme very well, and it gives you that authentic vibe. The UI, on the other hand, is very complex and for me was a bit finicky at times. It can definitely use a few quality of life improvements to make navigation a bit smoother. From the sound design angle, the effects and music are atmospheric and fitting for the game, and they set the tone very nicely. To be honest, they're not something you're likely to remember after playing. They do the job in enhancing the immersive experience, but they're not standout features in themselves. So overall, while the presentation isn't the main selling point, it effectively supports the deep and intricate gameplay that you're after when you're looking at these features. Of course, here we're reviewing the full release of the game, and part of that is going to be the new DLC on the 20th, which is the Biomes DLC. This will introduce 3 new biomes: the Scorching Desert, the Unforgiving Tundra, and the Lush Tropics. Each biome is going to bring its own unique challenges and opportunities, so you'll need to adapt your strategies accordingly. With the desert, there's going to be a lack of trees, so you need to localize logging around scarce wet soil, and long distance hauling in the distant oases or through foreign trade becomes a logistical puzzle. In the tundra, you have long harsh winters, so a shorter farming season is going to strain your agricultural sector, and then heating services will be working overtime. And then in the tropics, you have the heavy monsoons that mess with road conditions, slow down transportation. Traffic and flow of industry and commerce will be affected. And what's great about this developer is that they have continuously delivered updates throughout the early access, and the game, I'm happy to report, is in a release ready state. It's a really polished title, and the fact that they've delivered on everything makes it much more enjoyable for me to share with you guys. Alright LT gamers, to make it real simple for you, I'm going to break this down into the pros and cons of this game. What are people going to enjoy and what is going to maybe drag down the game a little bit. First up, I want to mention the deep gameplay mechanics. This game takes city building to a whole new level, and I really mean that. It's like the ultimate logistics tycoon meets a city builder. Every aspect from managing resources to intricate city operations feels incredibly detailed and realistic. It's not just about building cities, it's about micromanaging every aspect to ensure you are thriving. Then we have, kind of tied into this, complex infrastructure systems. You get detailed city infrastructure, water, sewer, power systems that are more realistic and complex than any other city building game I've come across. It adds a layer of challenge and satisfaction as you begin to operate at a good level and you optimize your city's operations overall and things start to run smoothly. Hopefully, that is. And then, of course, there's a vast buildable area. The game feels like a colossal playground. Maps are massive, spanning hundreds of square kilometers. You can collect multiple cities on the same map using different transportation methods: trucks, buses, trains, and even planes. It gives you a real feeling of unparalleled freedom to build and expand your nation. On the con side, there are some things I want to mention. One downside, in my opinion, is sometimes the sheer amount of micromanagement required. I'm not the most biggest fan of this, and it did drag on me sometimes. Your republic is dynamic and constantly evolving, and that means you always have to be adjusting and fine-tuning things. And sometimes it felt like more like work than a game, especially when I was juggling multiple tasks and changes simultaneously. Then, one particular gripe of mine is the transport system. Public transport in the game can be quite challenging and unintuitive compared to other city builders. Figuring out the system and ensuring people get where they need to go can be frustrating. I mentioned my anecdote earlier about getting a bus system up and going in about an hour. It literally took me that long. Citizens don't always behave as smartly as you would hope, and this makes managing their transportation needs and your needs as a growing city a real headache at times. Overall, Workers and Resources Soviet Republic offers probably an unparalleled depth of gameplay for hardcore simulation enthusiasts. Just be prepared for a steep learning curve and some micromanagement challenges along the way. Alright, let's tie this one together for you now, LT gamers. This game is an absolute beast of a city builder and logistics simulator. It combines intricate city planning with deep logistics management in a way that sets it apart from other titles in the genre. Building a Soviet Republic from scratch feels both challenging and incredibly rewarding. However, this game is not for everyone. You really have to revel in the minutiae of managing every aspect of your city and economy. The steep learning curve and high level of micromanagement might be overwhelming for some players. From early access to its upcoming full release, the developers have done a very commendable job delivering on their promises and really refining the gameplay experience, so full credit to them there. I would recommend Workers and Resources Soviet Republic to anyone looking for a city builder that has depth like no other game out there and you enjoy the micromanagement side. You like a detailed simulation and crafting complex logistical systems, and then it will definitely satisfy your craving for challenge and strategy. Personally, while I do appreciate the depth, I find it more suited to a dedicated gaming session on the weekend rather than casual play after a long day at work. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game. If you've tried it, drop a comment below about your experiences with this game or maybe other city builders, or ask any questions. Don't forget to subscribe, join the channel if you like what we're doing here and want to support us, and until next time, LT Gamers, bye bye.